I think a lot of people probably don't realize how easy it is to learn to create content. You just simply need to take the pressure off yourself if that is the case. Because why not? If you want to do it, you go ahead straight and do it. Oh, hi. Hello. I am live. I've been wondering if you will join live or you will watch this as a playback. But anyhow, if you're joining live, please do feel free to engage in the comment section. But also, if you're watching back, how are you? How was your day? No, you need to learn to put it into words, as in speak. How was your day? Is there anything you could have done better today? Did everything go well? And what didn't go well? What could be better? Sometimes, oh, I think this is, okay, it's the wrong way round. Yes. It's weird seeing myself on the screen, but it's fine. It's fine. We will roll with this because the image is inverted, but it's okay. It's all right. As I was saying, so how was your day? Today I am live and I scheduled it just so that I can make it, because if it's not in the calendar, it just simply won't happen. So today I decided that there are lots of unpopular niches for women over the age of 40 to think about. So if you're a woman who's been thinking maybe you'd like to do YouTube or start creating content and you've been struggling with what niche you should be focusing on, I'm going to give you about 100 different niches, ones I have seen particularly that are popular or well done, but not done in your own way with your own voice, or some that you actually know of or you've just seen them done in slightly different direction, and ones you have never heard of as well. So I hope that you will stay tuned and you will watch this till the very end. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Allow me adjust myself. There we go. I think that's better. When you take, it don't take too much of your time, and I just need to go live with you for about 30 minutes and open up your mind to ideas that are quite easily done out there in the world, and you just may not be thinking about it. So the very first one is that you can start a channel and talk about the things you learned too late in life. If you're at the point where you are reflecting, which for many of us in our 40s, it is the time we stop. Our body forces us to stop and reflect, have some moments with ourselves and think about, okay, is there something that we've learned too late in life and you want to start making notes of those things, turn them into a video, and you have one niche for yourself right there. Another niche is unwritten rules of midlife. So possibly things that you've gone through, they worked well for you by putting these rules into place, and they allowed you to carry on. Between the age of 40 and 50 is when generally we call midlife. So if there are rules you've laid down for yourself, such as probably finding new hobbies, sticking to a routine, those are rules that help bring organization and productivity into your life, then you may want to create a channel about those rules. The next one is how I started over at 45, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of those videos. Now they've become popular because people are realizing that they can afford to pivot at any point in time, but midlife, more especially, is the time that they're choosing to do it, or they're getting the courage to do it, either being forced to do it or doing it at will. The next niche is advice I wish my younger self knew or had. So now you're in a place of more wisdom, and you're able to share things that you didn't know before, but you wished somebody shared with you. You can create a whole new channel about that. It's a niche in itself. The next one, which is number 5, is life lessons from quitting a 20-year career, or life lessons from changing your career. I think that's also on the list. Number 6 is firsts after 40, and that's you probably sharing your life as an experience, and I can imagine it would be so good. Imagine from one video to the other, sharing every first, probably the first water bottle you bought, the first tattoo, your first solo travel. We can see Tracy Ellis Ross doing her first solo travel. And I think she's opened up the doors to know so many things. According to one of the comments that I read on the very recent TikTok, a lady wrote in there, you are undoing a lot of things in our lives. And she didn't even realize she was going to have that impact on people. But somehow, while living her own life, she's unraveling a lot of things for a lot of young ladies out there, and uh, older ladies as well. They're beginning to think, oh, actually I can do this, I just need to put some things in motion. The next is 40 plus life skills they don't teach you at school. Wow. I can, off the top of my head, you can easily pick out different skills: money skills, life skills, cooking skills, so many skills you don't get taught in school. So many skills. The next niche that I think is great for those in their 40s is your 40s life coach. No fluff edition. You just get straight to the point. If you're a qualified coach, a certified life coach, why not start a YouTube channel and share your gift, your talent, your qualification with the world? Number 9 is letters to my future grandchildren. You can easily sit down and write these letters in the form of videos, or make them as talking head videos to your grandchildren for them to watch. And all you need to do is then share the channel with them. 20, 30 years down the line, I can imagine that being a very soulful gift to give one's family. Number 10 is documenting a midlife crisis, honestly, not applying butter over it and sugarcoating it, just saying it as it is. And I have to say, I have seen a couple of men and women sharing on their channels the crisis they've been through and how they overcame it. An example is those in the niche of menopause, the menopause symptoms. They're constantly educating other people about it through one video or the other. Number 11 is how I escaped corporate life at whatever age it is. If you manage to do that at 30, you're now in your 40s, you can easily teach the rest of us how to navigate those circumstances. Number 12 is quiet quitting in midlife. You can be telling stories, you can include strategies in that, how you sort of navigated, your work life in midlife. Maybe that caught you when you were about 45 or 47, or even at 50. You can easily start that. From 9 to 5 to passive income is another one at number 13. And that's showing a lot of men, women, an unpopular niche that they may not necessarily be aware of. In as much as people consume YouTube, do you know there are more consumers than there are creators? And if you've started your journey just like I have, I've managed to even just start, and I'm encouraging more people to start. If you've started and you're making money from it, you may want to open up the minds of other women to start to come around to the idea of creating, a side hustle or creating a passive income. Number 14 is second careers that make sense after 40. A lot of people get to 40 and they're looking to pivot because they feel like they're stuck. They feel like they're going stale in whatever career that they have been in. Maybe a couple of years they've invested in, and now they just want a change. You could, be from HR background and start to think of, okay, actually, maybe you want to transition out of it or into it. How did you do it? How did you do it successfully? You may want to share that with the rest of the world, because whether you like it or not, it will be useful to somebody out there. Number 15 of unpopular niches for women over the age of 40 is how to leave a job without burning out. Number 16 is over 40 and still figuring it out. You can share what you're struggling with and how you're getting over those struggles, but also how you're navigating it during that time, in that journey while you're living through it. Number 17 is how I built a slow business after 40. So that is one. If you've started a slow business, a quiet business on the side, and it's running successfully, why not? Number 18 is mistakes I made as a late entrepreneur. I don't think anybody is ever late. If you can start a business at 70, at 80, if you've got the strength, you've got the tenacity, why not? Anybody can run a business at this point in time, but it requires skills, the right set of skills, obviously. So if you've managed to do that, then you can easily share it. one video at a time. Number 19 is reinventing yourself without the hype. We see that earlier on, and in lots of videos nowadays, a lot of people are reinventing themselves because they're finding that they are coming back to themselves after sacrificing and for the rest of the world, but also living according to how society prescribed it. Why not? And that leaves us with number 20, which is work journals. What I do all day now in your 40s. If you're struggling with coming up with a niche, this is the video for you. These are a list of unpopular niches for those in their 40s. And then we move to minimalism, decluttering, and resetting life niches. So I have at number 21, which is starting minimalism at 40 plus. Yours could be at 41 or 45 or 47. It doesn't really matter. If you're new to the idea of minimalism around your life, this is the time to start it, because when you're starting to your 30s, it's so different from when you're starting it in your 40s and later on. So you may want to share that with the world, but also gaining the benefits that come with starting a YouTube channel. Number 22 is decluttering a lifetime of stuff. And you can create so many videos. You move from one aspect of your life to the other, from career to life to your home to your relationships. There isn't anything people cannot declutter nowadays. Number 23 is digital declutter diaries, 40 plus edition. If you're constantly downloading apps onto your phone or onto your laptop or your iPad or your tablet, and you find that you're always overwhelmed and you're going through this phase of decluttering digital, what would I call it, apps, digital resources, then now may be the time for you to start documenting that. Number 24 is rebooting life after kids leave home. Yes, even before they leave home, it's a very good time to start a YouTube channel because it opens up the avenue of having a hobby. When we have children, they tend to take a lot of our time. They take a huge chunk of our lives where we're parenting, and that can be a very big job. You can find purpose in it, but what happens when the children have left home and now you're a nester? What do you do with yourself? Say it's what you do when nobody is watching is what matters. So you may want to start prepping yourself before you become a nester. But if you're already a nester and you find that you have so much time on your hands and you're constantly twiddling your thumb, which I doubt, although nowadays many people are bored, why not start a YouTube channel? Number 25 is how I downsized without regret. If you're an excellent storyteller, this one is a good one for you. Number 26 is monthly reset videos for the overwhelmed. Yes, if you're able to do it, do it. There are cleaning motivational videos on YouTube. In case you haven't found them, it's for people who are struggling through difficult and challenging mental health issues, and they just pluck up the courage one day at a time to clean their home. Yes, they do that for videos. They do that for videos, for the aesthetics, for clout, but you can do it in the way that it works for you. Number 27 is buying less, living more on a 40 plus journey. Need we say more? If you're somebody who's always been the fashionista and you're constantly buying fashion items on trend, and now you're finding that you're going through a transition of different mindset, changing your style, why not share it? There is so much purpose in helping other people overcome their own consumerism or attitude towards it. Number 28 is decluttering regrets, what I wish I had kept. If you probably somehow you've gone through that decluttering exercise and you took pictures of items that you threw away, you can relive those memories, not necessarily with the item in your household, but the space is now there, and you can just go through a story time how you acquired the item, how you decided you were going to declutter it and give it away. Do you have any regrets about it? Does it still bring you joy just looking at the picture? Those are some of the things that we want to be able to share in our 40s. Then number 29 is letting go of your 30s. How does it feel? How does it feel that you're letting go of your 30s? You never quite know until you open your mouth and you start to share these things. Do you have any regrets? What would you rather hold on to? A sense of maturity? How does that feel for you? Number 30 is minimalist parenting for grown kids. Yes. Minimalist parenting for grown kids. Start thinking about what your parenting style was. Are you going to change it moving forward? If you are in your 40s and you have probably teenagers or in between age kids, how are you handling it? What's your experience of being a parent as a 40 plus? Did you have did you have children late in life or early in life? Whoever decides these things that they're early or late, it's society. But we have an opportunity to be able to talk about them in a way that is not judgmental. You don't have anybody talking back at you as a result of it. So, number 31 to 40 will be around identity, aging, and self awareness. And if you have seen some of these niches, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't, then I'm hoping that I have planted the seed for you to sort of see it as a niche. It's missing on YouTube. When you do the research, then why not go for it? Why not start your own YouTube channel? Number 31 is the unspoken realities of aging. I think so many of us would welcome the idea, the thoughts of a 40-year-old person who shares their perspective on aging. I've watched a couple of videos around those in the 60s, 70s, and describing aging, both the physical aspect and the mental aspect of it. So if we can have somebody in their 40s doing this as well, that would be great. Number 32 is unlearning who you thought you would be. And also, probably through that, share it one video at a time, talking about what did you actually think you were going to be at this age, and who are you seeing yourself as now in your 40s, but also why the change? What kick-started that transition for you? What kick-started that pivot for you? What was it about the initial one and who you are now? Number 33 is midlife without makeup. As in, are you living through your 40s without makeup? I've lived a couple of years now, probably over 6 years without makeup because I just got tired of it. But also the fact that I was dealing with very difficult acne. And initially I thought it was cystic acne, but it turned out to be hormonal acne. So I needed to get my hormones on balance. But also, I suffered with that for a couple of years, and I just thought, what's the point of wearing makeup over it? So I wanted time to concentrate on the acne, and then I was left with hyperpigmentation, and that then led me to, okay, let me just stay away from wearing makeup to deal with the hyperpigmentation because I wanted to be able to start to stand up for myself, come out of my shell, come out of the house without having something on. And then after that, I then realized actually I could still wear makeup, but why buy and pay for something that I would put on in the morning, layer it on, and then at night I have to wash it off and all that. So over time, I've sort of just left makeup to be in the counters of Sephora and whatever it is they sell makeup now in the UK, John Lewis and whatever it is, or the Mac Studios. I don't care too much for it. But when I do go out and I want to just feel myself a little bit, yes, I would apply makeup. So you could try midlife without makeup if that is your thing, and just do one video at a time as to how you navigate your looks. Number 34 is gray hair and grit, aging without apology. There are lots of younger women now wearing gray. They would wear gray toned wigs, but if that's not your thing and your hair is beginning to go gray, then yes, why not? Talk about it, share how it makes you feel, how you feel you're being accepted in society, and see where that takes you. Number 35 is becoming who you are. Finally, that is a niche in itself. It can be a lifestyle niche. You could be showing your mindset, your productivity tips, your wardrobe, what that is like, the woman you're becoming, what you think the challenges are likely to be. Number 36 is the lies we were told about midlife. What are you now thinking? What are you now seeing is the truth or the myth? You may want to share that with those that are coming behind as to, okay, what they can expect, but also if they can expect this, it may not necessarily apply to them. Number 37 is deconstructing the strong woman trope. So what did you feel like to be a strong woman? But what do you think is a strong woman? You make use of ChatGPT if you're struggling to build these out into a channel, but I think they are fantastic niches that you can definitely explore. if you're a woman in your 40s, number 38 is Invisible Woman Diaries after 40 years. There is that, what's the word I'm looking for? There is that thought that we become invisible once we reach midlife. I think that's impacted by the way in which the workplace dynamics tend to change for especially women over the age of 40. For men, I've noticed that a lot of mid-age men at that point in time, they start to fall out of the workplace and go on to start their own businesses, whereas for women, it's all over the place. So for some of us, it's more delayed. You may not necessarily want to run your own business, so you take some time out and come back into your career. But we all become invisible at some point or at some stages in our life. And if you're navigating that, either finding it easy or challenging, you may want to start documenting it video by video on YouTube. Another unpopular niche that I think is appropriate for women over the age of 40 is number 39, which is what no one tells men about aging. You can build that up as much as possible. Just be willing to sit within yourself and think about it. Make it intentional, but also make it soulful. Number 40 is rethinking ambition in your 40s. What exactly is the definition of ambition? What does it look like in your 40s? What does it feel like in your 40s? How do you share it? How do you communicate it? How do you read? How do you redefine it in your 40s in terms of career, your life goals, your dreams? So I think that is definitely a niche for women in their 40s to explore. Then we move on to the last 10, which is niches that fall under unusual education, learning, and knowledge. And I think they are very appropriate for women over the age of 40 to start their own YouTube channel. Number 41 is learning one new thing a week at 45. And I think that can be an amazing channel. It should be filled with so much because from age 0 or age 1 to 40 or 45, how many skills have you really learned intentionally? Really, other than most of us going to school and getting it within the educational space, I think this may be a time for us to relive that moment and be intentional about the skills that we want to stack up for the next decade. Imagine every single week you're learning a skill, learning the piano, learning swimming, learning chess, learning basketball, football. And I'm sure it will take more than 1 week to be able to learn a skill, but at least you're building it up over time. Number 42 is relearning subjects that you hated in school. Think about that for a moment. If I were to go back, what subject did I really hate? I I think during my time, I found it challenging to understand chemistry, but I passed it. And I blamed the teacher because of his delivery. His delivery wasn't great. So I think it made it a very difficult subject. I can just about document a video at a time. The first video will be why I found it difficult or why I hated chemistry. The next one will be, okay, me getting over the hatred. There's lots of good storytellers are out there. You would watch 10 videos without realizing they were just telling you stories after stories. So I can come up with another scenario in secondary school when I was washing a beaker. We had just finished an experiment and I was washing a beaker. The beaker then broke because I turned it to wash. And that's how I managed to get a scar on my hand. Just getting over that one video at a time. I can just feel it being, what's the word? I need to find a word for that. Being rebirth, because you go through the experience, you talk through the experience and come back into yourself to try and take away lessons from it. So I love that idea. Number 42 are to relearning subjects that you hated in school. Number 43 is explaining complex stuff like you're 40 plus. Not like I'm 5-year old, but like a 40 plus. How do you understand it and then share it with the world? I'm always on the learning bandwagon. I'm always wanting to learn new things, but I find it difficult to find the time, but also to assimilate whatever it is in simple language because I'm not somebody that tends to use a lot of what would I call it, industry lingo or language into it. So it can be quite difficult for people like me to be described as an expert, even though we do what we do well. I do what I do so well. I can describe it probably to a 5-year-old than I can to an adult or to somebody who is at the executive level, because the executive level, the strategic thinker may be thinking, I need to be dropping in some language words, which I'm then missing. So If you're a 40-year-old that understands complex subjects, some complex stuff or subject, you may want to start sharing that in simple languages. Number 44 is late bloomers, famous people who started late. You can easily build a whole channel about that. You can use AI, use ChatGPT, Claude to try and build out a list of probably noticeable or notable celebrities or non-celebrities or businessmen, entrepreneurs who have gone to make their mark in the world, but they started late. But also define what a late bloomer is, because I find that word to be quite ambiguous. Is a 30-year-old a late bloomer? Is a 40-year-old a late bloomer? And once you find your own niche, define it out and stretch it out one video at a time, you have a whole new channel. If it excites you, that means you're more likely to stick to it. If it doesn't, that won't work and you don't need it. So you may want to let that niche go. Another niche that is very appropriate for a woman over the age of 40 to explore in terms of YouTube is number 45, which is old school versus new school learning. How are people learning stuff nowadays and how have they always done it? The next one at 46 is on learning toxic productivity. There are people who are constantly going and going and going at it, but we don't want to be like that. Yes, they say always have your best foot forward, but it can be so tiring. So to always be our best self can be very tiring. Someday we just need to rest and chill. But if you can create a whole video, a whole YouTube channel rather, around toxic productivity, but because there is such a thing, then you have found yourself a niche. Number 47 is wisdom series, lessons from unread books. So are there books that you haven't read and you're now managing to read? Now may be the time for you to start sharing lessons. I used to find that when I read books, I found it difficult to recollect what I have learned. So I learned from Ali Abdul, one of his videos, that you need to create a second brain for you, because then you can refer to the second brain and you'll be able to have a good recollection of what you read. Because if you were missing what you've read, then you are more likely to visit that second brain because it's in your words, it's in your thoughts, in your own perspective, and then you can relive those moments. But even with that, I still find it difficult to take notes while I'm reading it, or even after I finish the whole book and I'm now taking notes. So I don't necessarily know, and I think this may be a niche that you can explore as a new YouTuber. So once you've read a book, come share your thoughts in a video rather than having it written down somewhere, that over time you have a pack of notebooks of your thoughts of the books you've read, or a notion that you would hardly visit. So that can be a challenge. The next niche that I think is appropriate for a woman over the age of 40 is number 47, which is wisdom series. Oh, sorry, I've just repeated that. Number 48, which is 40 plus study with me, either for certification or for exams. You can easily stretch those out. I went through an apprenticeship for my professional career and it was 18 months long. During those 18 months, I had all types of feelings. I felt all type of way. And I think I could have relieved those moments by creating videos on my YouTube channel. And maybe I will eventually do that later, but there is no way I'll be able to capture how I felt in that 18 months going through that program. Later on in life. There is no way. So you could, I think that is why it is very important for us to be capturing how we're feeling in the moment. And I think creating videos helps with that. Even if you don't publish it and share it with the world, you have something to refer back to. You'll be able to see the trajectory of your own life, of your growth, of your learning journey. And I think that's immensely powerful to anybody who wants to have a reflective spirit. Whether we like it or not, at some point, some years we ask questions, and some years life will ask us questions. So, or life will provide the answers. So, in those years when we are constantly asking ourselves what we're here for, what our purpose is, what is the intention behind our existence, which often happens in midlife, you may have something like those to refer back to. So number 49 is lifelong learner diaries. If you're in your 40s, it may be a time to pick up books, several books, and start reading because you don't want to stop learning. Now is the time for you to keep learning. If you know what you know well, there is always something you can learn. So why not start a diary, a virtual diary on how you're starting your lifelong journey, just learning. Number 50 is adult homework club. You can easily build that out. excuse me, and call it whatever it is you want to call it, but those are lots that you can build that out into a YouTube channel. Then I move into the creative but low energy channels. So you can have a stitch at a time, which is a meditative crafting. So I can easily see myself building a channel about this in my 40s, where I just sit down and crochet or knit. And I don't necessarily want, I can have music, but I would just want to invite you into it. Rather than me talking, people can easily just sit down and watch me crochet this thing for hours on end. There is a lady on TikTok who I hear runs a book club, and she sits down, reads the books or reads a book, and after reading, well, she invites people to go on live with her, and they're all reading. But after reading, they then come back and have a live again to talk about what's been read. So that's something that you could do. Number 52 is faceless journaling with voiceovers. I have come across a channel where the lady shares journaling prompts. That's all she does. She just speaks through journaling prompts for our audience. And at the end of the video, she sort of invites you to share either what you've written down, what you feel comfortable, sharing, or you go away and that's the end of the session. Very good. Number 53 is 30-minute creative prompts for adults. Did I not just say that? I couldn't remember that was on the list, but yes. Share 30 minutes creative prompts for adults to take away, and they can easily go and build their own journals. Number 54 is slow art for busy minds. I know a few channels where they just doodle and you're meant to follow along. If that's something that you do on a daily, then why can't you turn it into a video? Eventually you learn, you better your own skills, you become, better at it, become a mastery at the skill, and then you make money from it. What could be better than that? Number 55 is making peace with silence. Sit down in silence. I invite the rest of the world to join you. 56 is pen and paper games for grown-ups. Yes, there is a TikTok family, tabletop family, they call them on TikTok, and that is all they share. Okay, what games can we play with pen and paper while we're waiting for our order to be ready at a restaurant? And it's fantastic. You can do those games at home with family, with, depending on how big your family is, your family, with, friends, it doesn't matter. Even in team bonding exercises at work, you can, if you have an idea for those, you can easily share them. 57 is creative writing in midlife, whether you have faceless or you have it spoken, where you share your own words and you share your face. I'm busy looking at a squirrel over the window, but that's something to think about as well. 58 is one-page story series. I don't know if anybody has ever thought about this, but if you're a good storyteller, just dedicate, say, you're always going to write stories of one page and no more in every video. That's going to catch on like a wildfire. I can just about see it. 59 is the Quiet Creators channel. If you're quiet like me and you don't like to talk, find something that you do when you have a downtime, and invite the world into your living space to share that with you. Number 60 is soundtracked poetry from life. Are you one that is good with poetry? You may want to try it. Then we have to move on to the mindful living and slowing down. 61 is walk with me. It will be silent or narrated walk. We all do that. If you do walking every day, I walk every day, and I can easily invite you to a live with me to do that. 62 is unrushed life, a day in the life without rushing around. What does that look like for you? You may want to share that with the world and build out a niche from it. 63 is morning routines that don't feel like a hustle. 64 is the anti-burnout diaries. 65 is the seasonal living for the overstimulated, mindful living for recovering overachievers. That's possible. 67 is low stimulation productivity tips. 68 is rest as resistance, a 40 plus edition. 69 is digital wellness for grown folks. What does that look like for you? Right? So number 70 is one slow habit at a time. How do you build your own habit? There was a lady I saw on TikTok the other day, and a channel is built around lazy girl hack for everything. So she knows that she wants to be fit. What is the lazy girl hack for that? And she shared with her audience, which I found, the video I watched was, now she realizes that she needs to be fit. So the first thing she does when she wakes up is that she jumps for 30 times. And that's it. Because the reason behind jumping is that you need to open up your lymphatic nerves, as she rightly explained it, when we wake up. And where are they placed? In our calves. So if you can exercise your calves in the morning, you're able to drain your lymphatic system. And I thought, what a fantastic idea. But she built a whole channel around lazy girl acts. So that may be something that you could do. Build one slow habit at a time. Number 71 is under the unconventional self-help and mental health. So this may be for you if you're somebody who lives slow in your 40s, either intentionally or unintentionally. This is midlife therapy reflections without being a therapist. Number 72 is you healing without the hustle. How are you doing that for yourself? Number 73 is therapy homework I actually did. Make some of these, if they some of these niches, if they interest you, all you need to do is make use of AI or make use of Chat GPT to help you flesh it out. Your first 30 videos, go all in and just dive deep into it. Number 74 is self-soothing for adults. What is that like? I'm quite interested in it. How do you self-regulate your emotions as an adult, as a grown woman? Number 75 is midlife journaling prompts. I can see this so easily done. Number 76 is mental fitness for Gen Xers and elders. How about for millennials? Do one for millennials. Mental fitness. What exercises can we do to get our brain working? At 40s, we all know that a lot of people will be going through perimenopausal symptoms or even menopausal symptoms. How do you get over the brain fog? So these could be very helpful. Number 77 is building self-trust after 40. What are the range of things that you put in place? How are you building self-trust? That you trust yourself, you can do this. How do you psych yourself up? 78 is overthinking recovery diaries. There are lots of thinkers out there who would need different, simple, helpful habits. Number 79 is the faceless feelings channel. That sounds very niche, very interesting. Number 80 is practicing self-compassion in real life. What is that like? What does that look like for you as a woman over the age of 40 and you're trying to practice self-compassion? What exactly is self-compassion to you? And how do you define it? You can build a whole channel around that. Now we're going to go into the generational commentary and observations, things you've seen. I have to say, mine falls under this as well because I'm constantly thinking, I'm taking lessons from those that are much older, those in their 50s and 60s. What could they have done better in their 40s when they're sharing their regrets? And for me, I kind of think, okay, I'd like somewhere I can express my thoughts, be a better confident speaker, but also create a passive income and then be able to document my own life as well. Hence the birth of my channel. So for you, number 81 could be Gen X unfiltered. Well, how about millennial unfiltered, 40 plus unfiltered, and you just get to chat about anything you want. Number 82 is millennial myths from a 40-year-old perspective. 83 is boomer habits I secretly love, or things about from that generation that you enjoy seeing them do. 84 is parenting parents, the sandwich generation vlogs. Once we get to our 40s, that is when our parents are now elderly and we need to keep an eye on them. Maybe you're getting to spend time with your family, your parents. How is that working out for you? What are you doing that is working for you? How are you able to fit them into your life without feeling overwhelmed or burnt out? 85 is what my mom never said, but she showed me. Oh my God, there are so many lessons from this one. If you can go in on your first 50 videos, you already carve out a community that is like a cult. And I think they can just carry you through. Number 86 is culture clash diaries. When you're growing up in two worlds, did you move from one country to another? Now you're in your 40s. Or during your childhood, are you able to relive some of those moments? Number 87 is things I thought were normal, but they weren't. This one sticks out to me because I saw it on, what's this young lady's name? Lucy Benson on YouTube. She shared, I think I can just about say, and I stand to be corrected, but I can say that she championed the niche and the playlist or the series around things social media made us think are normal but are not. I think this one falls under it. Things I thought were normal but weren't. Number 88 is Old Wives' Tales that I'm testing out. What have you always heard? There's so many centered around different lives, on pregnancy, on food, on raising children, you name it. Think about it. The weirdest things you've heard of, you can start to test them out. Number 89 is On Cool Things I Embrace. I think I have one around my thoughts on the weird things I do to grow my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll create a video about that. Number 90 is Growing Up Offline, stories you've never heard. If you're a good storyteller, this is your time to come share those stories. And then I'm going to take you around the next 10, which are all one-off series ideas that could become channels that you can flesh out, especially if you're a woman over the age of 40. Number 91 is 100 things I would never do again. Pick each one, and that you have 100 videos first done. Number 92 is things I still don't understand at 45. I can say there's been a good series on TikTok. Yes, I can see it. But also on YouTube, you can build a whole channel around that. Number 93 is letters to strangers that I will never send. You can easily take time, write it as much as you want. And who's getting harmed by it? No one. Number 94 is what I would say to my childhood self. There are so many lessons for that one. So many lessons. Number 95 is the real cost of midlife disease. Decisions have you made? I've seen people change career. I've seen people give birth. I've seen people adopt children. I've seen people pivot life decisions, take up fitness, move to another country, get married, get divorced, start YouTube. That's 8, or no, that's 9 already. There's so many things, that what are the real cost of these things? Number 96 is rejecting the dream life script. How are you now living life? Let us know. Build a whole channel out of it. Number 97, how I changed my mind about everything in your 40s. It sounds easy, you can so do it. Number 98 is the Life Audit series. Go from one aspect of your life to another. There are so many different aspects to you. Are you auditing them? What are you doing? What are you changing? What are you bringing in? What are you taking out? Number 99 is behind the scenes of a private life. This one speaks to me because, in as much as a lot of people like to be private, there is still part of that private that you can share with the world if you really wanted to. And you can be as discreet as you want, you can be as open about it as you want. Your excuse is, my life is private, you don't have a right to know about this. And that's it. Number 100 is trying one random idea a month for a whole year. One idea a month for a whole year is very similar to that learning a new skill every week or building a new habit every week. Flesh it out into a whole month. You can show us the ups and downs of you learning chess. I thought about learning chess this morning, and I'm just thinking to myself, I need to get out of my own self-limiting belief, because a part of me is thinking there are so many rules to chess that I don't think I will remember it. But there is also another part of me that is saying, come on, girl, you can actually do this. If you put your mind to it, you can learn it. So I'm here to tell you as well that you can learn anything in your 40s. If you wanted to start a YouTube channel and it's been playing on your mind, go on, pick one of these niches, build it out, make use of a strategy, make use of ChatGPT, make use of AI, Claude, Perplexity, whatever it is, to help you flesh out your first 50 videos, then film them and get them out. That way you've set your foot strongly firm in the soil. Many of these things can be faceless, they can be slow, they can be voice over based if you don't want to show your face. But I would encourage you to show your face because, one, it allows people to connect with you very quickly. But secondly, it takes the pressure of it. Then the third is that there is a skill to be learned in talking to the camera. It definitely is a skill that needs to be learned, and I think it's so invaluable. There is a confidence that comes with it in approaching the world. You get to know more about yourself, your body language. You watch yourself back and you find out that the quirks are not actually that bad. Then, the power is here, the power here is not in the topics that I've listed. I've listed 100 in the 44 minutes that we've been talking, but it's in your perspective, in the way in which you see life. So the way in which you see life will be different from mine. We could be in the same niches, but the way I would use words, you could be a wordsmith and be very great with words. And there are people who will come to you for that. So I want you to think that these niches are sort of open-ended. They are perfect for series, but they're also perfect for recurring themes. You can bring them over and over and over again. You can rinse and repeat and do the same thing over and over and over again. So yes, it's amazing. You can pick any of these niches, and I hope you find them useful. Choose the one that reflects your current life phase, your past regrets, or even just your curiosity, what you're looking to learn. So I hope you can pick one. You let me know. No one's joined the live, but I hope the next time I go on, I will be able to schedule it so I can invite you all into my space and we can talk more about it. If you've picked one out of these niches, feel free to let me know which one and how you are starting your own channel. I think there are so many benefits to starting a YouTube channel, especially if you're a woman over the age of 40. I have listed in the previous live, which was yesterday. Go on and watch it. It's on the channel. As the 100 reasons why I think you should start a YouTube channel. If no one, even your family members, don't watch, and it is you that watches it back. There are so many benefits to it. Until next time, I will see you again and stay well.